it! I'm so glad you're here. So let's get rolling. I'm Charlie. I'm a scientist here at JAM. I love science. I can't wait to share all my favorite science experiments with you. Here are a few things you should know about JAM in order to have maximum fun. First, all the experiments you try aren't guaranteed to work out the first time. That's totally normal. We love seeing your fails just as much as your epic experiments. Second, you should feel free to change and adjust anything and everything I show you in order to be able to use materials you have at home and do your own versions of the experiments. That's what mad scientists do. Do you hear that? That's the slime alarm. It's time to make some slime, everybody. The time has come. Everybody's favorite day in science class is the day you make slime. It was mine when I was younger, and it's still mine now. So, that's our project today. We're gonna make slime and share our favorite slime recipes with each other. I've accumulated a vast number of slime recipes over my years. I'm a very experienced slimeologist and slime creator. I'm gonna share my favorite slime recipes with you here today. You guys are gonna know the tips, you're gonna know the tricks, you're gonna know how to take them to the next level, and most importantly, you should be able to take them to levels even above where I'm reaching. So show me what you guys are doing with these slimes and show me how you make your own. The first slime recipe we're gonna put together was a recipe that was shared to me by one of my favorite science teachers when I was in 2nd grade. I moved to a new school. I was the new kid on the block. I didn't have many friends, but then in science class one day, my teacher, Mrs. Walzak, showed me how to make this very slime. That was the day I fell in love with science. That's the day I made some friends in science class and at that new school. So I know this slime as Mrs. Walzak's Super Slime. Other people know it as GAC. It has a bunch of different names, and I'm going to show you how to make it today. So let's get sliming. Here's what you need if you want to make this slime. A bunch of glue, a mixing bowl, some warm water, a measuring device to measure things in cups, stirring spoons, food coloring, borax. This is stuff that you can get at the grocery store in the laundry detergent aisle. And a couple other things that can help you out. Paper towels when things get messy, and maybe like a cookie sheet or a dish or something like that to mix the slime in. The first step to making this slime is you gotta put a whole bunch of glue in your mixing bowl. You can get a bunch of these Elmer's glue things, like the individual canisters, or sometimes it comes in a gallon if you can find it at like an office store or a craft store or something like that. We used 3 Elmer's glue bottles. And the next step is you gotta add warm water to this thing. The key is you add just as much water as you added glue. So equal amounts of glue and water. You can guesstimate. That's what we're gonna do today. So I think it's like it's gonna be nearly this whole thing, but like not quite. Take your stirring utensil and stir it up just a bit. This is the moment where you add some food coloring if you want to. I'm gonna use green because it's slime. It's my first slime, so you just gotta go with the classics sometimes. Here's a tip when you're adding food coloring to something. Food coloring is super, super highly concentrated food dye, so you don't need to add a lot. Maybe like 1 drop or maybe 2 drops are really enough to give you a nice color. If you squirt it in, things are gonna get really dark really quickly. So just a little at a time. I'm gonna go with 2. All right. I'm gonna take this mixture and set it aside for a bit. Using your cup measuring apparatus, measure out 1 cup of water. This is where the borax comes into play. So pop open your borax, and it's like a powder. Oh man, it doesn't even come in a bag. It's just like right in the box. So just a heads up on that part. I wasn't expecting that. Take a tablespoon of borax and mix it up into your water. Start with like a little less and then add a little bit more because you really want to try to get it to dissolve. And a tablespoon is like roughly a spoonful. This is a big spoon, so I'm going to do like just under. Try to mix it up so you can get it all dissolved as cloudy as possible. Now we're going to take our 2 solutions and combine them together and roll up your sleeves because this is the final step in the slime making process. But this is super, super important. You only want to add a little bit of the borax water at a time. So just a bit and a bit and a bit. If you add too much, this can get too wet. So as you add it, you'll see it'll become like jelly-like and start mashing together. So just a bit at a time. We'll mix it as we go. We'll go a little. It's super watery, so I really hope this works. Oh man, it's happening. Oh, yes. Yes. Look at this. It's still sticking on the sides like a little, but I don't think it's under. Ooh. Dude, I love that color. It's like toothpastey. And I hope you guys can see it. It's like a nice soft green. It's really sweet. All right, I'm gonna stick that aside. I'm gonna bring out my tray. Yes. Ooh, it's not quite there. I'm gonna try to add a little bit more of this stuff. A little bit more of the borax. Try to really bring it together. Yeah, there you go. It's still pretty gluey, so what we're going to do is we're trying to wash it around and get the glue mixing in with the water and all of the borax and kind of just keep kneading it. And if you keep kneading it over and over, it'll eventually form this nice kind of slime blob. And that's what we're going for. I think I'm nearly there. All right. Yes! Paper towels to wipe off the hands! Oh! Dude, look at this thing! Look at this blob! It's kind of like if you've ever used silly putty. It's in between silly putty and really kind of like wet slime. And it's like you can slam it, you can put your handprint in it. I'm gonna make a handprint really quick. If you guys end up making the GAC or Mrs. Walczak's Super Slime, there's a neat trick that you can do with this slime in particular that you can't do with the other slimes that I'm making. So I'm going to show you guys the trick right here. I need like a glass, so I'm going to get it right over here. And this. So you might have like gotten one of these toys at a store or seen somebody use it, but we actually kind of just made our own. This is really great farting slime. So all you need to do to make this slime fart is the slime and like a jar or something to trap air. So I don't know if it's gonna work. Wait, I can do so much better than that. All you do is you take this slime and trap in some air, and when it like pops out, oh, phenomenal. The trick is you gotta like kind of feel it out. It's not just like jamming it in, and the harder you push, you gotta find like a nice corner, and almost like you gotta be delicate with it. Let's try a little fart symphony. See if you can get it back and forth. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. You got a good one. You got a good one going there, man. It tires out your hands. So there's your trick, guys. Get a jar, use your GAC, or use your Mrs. Walzek Super Slime to trap some air. I gotta end with a good one. I gotta end with a good one, guys. Oh, come on. There we go. Charlie out. All right, guys, there you have it. If you keep kneading it, eventually it's much softer, you know? It might look like it's really gluey and kind of wet, so you just gotta lift it out of the solution, knead it together, and you get a nice kind of jelly-like ball that's kind of really calming to squeeze around in your hands. So there you go. Recipe number 1, Mrs. Walzak's Super Supreme Awesome Slime. Way back from when Charlie learned it in 2nd grade. Try it out, let me know how it goes for you guys, and let me know if you do anything different. Stay tuned for more slime recipes.